This is Grid Vision, and we are live from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's New Atlanta. That's Super Speedway Atlanta for some Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series action. We've got 14 drivers out here tonight ready to compete for the victory. Last week, we saw an improbable winner in James South, but a very popular winner as well. And this is a place where those improbable winners come to rise. Atlanta Motor Speedway, a Super Speedway. Brian Britt, my co-commentator. What do you think about New Atlanta?
Well, it's definitely been a fun track to watch races at for sure. And I know James South, speaking of him, he's been quite successful at this racetrack. I think the last couple times we've been here, maybe not in this series, but he has won. So I do expect he's going to still have the hot hand as we have a 115-degree track temp here. So it's a hot one in hot Atlanta.
And I do know that he happened to win a race here in a different league just the day before he won in this league last week. So he's got the hot hand right here. Multiple different racetracks, but he also won here. So could he do it back to back? I don't know. He's going to give it a good old shot tonight, James South. But we're going to run through our points real quick. Justin Levine has taken the points lead away from Keegan Sabilo by just a single point off of that win last week. Nathan Meyer follows closely in third. Levine had a win the week before, second last week. James South, with his win, bumps himself up to fourth place in the points, and Craig Yanzak rounds out our top five.
Yeah, definitely some really awesome performances here as of late from Justin Levine. And I didn't think he took the points lead last week, but it looks like he has. But definitely looking forward to seeing what he could do here tonight.
I believe we're going to go into our schedule for next week. I knew I was going to be a stuttering mess tonight. But, yep, tonight, you see it right here. You're here right now. Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series. That's every Tuesday night. Remember it. I don't remember where we race next week, but you'll see a different banner on there next time we go live. Sunday, Iowa. Kansas Speedway, RGR Racing. Brian,
yeah, just to correct you, it's actually Iowa coming up next week at Champion. So that's actually one I got highlighted on my calendar because I love that track.
See, that makes me a little bit happier. That is a dang good racetrack. Atlanta's fun to watch. It's going to be exciting here tonight. But Iowa's like a real talent style of racetrack, especially on the sim. I just feel like the tire wear matters so much. You know, you're not fighting with the draft too much. There's multiple lanes. I feel like you can get away with a lot at Iowa. Great racetrack. Can't wait for that next week.
Yeah, it's got multi-grooves, kind of a driver's track, so looking forward to that for sure. Of course, this is going to be a little bit different here tonight, a whole different animal as these guys are going to be super speedway racing at a 1.5-mile track, which is quite interesting. Of course, 80 laps, so not too long of a race here this evening, but still, I think just long enough to cause some trouble.
Yeah, I love the variety in the schedule here in the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, going from, 1.5 miles last week. Sorry, was it 1.5 miles? Man, my memory is foggy. Where were we last week? Either way, Super Speedway here.
Week, if I'm not mistaken.
You would be right. So, but okay, oval, like normal egg-shaped 1.5 miles, then to a Super Speedway hybrid with Atlanta Speedway, and then Iowa next week. That's a tremendously diverse schedule. Love seeing it because you come every single week and you get a little bit different of a show. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I love this series. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of people in this series. I think that, of course, we could see some more popularity possibly next season. I know definitely the crew is thinking up new ideas, but every week we have some awesome racing. Some of the best finishes in Grid Vision history have happened right here in this series.
Yeah, we have had some really, really good races, in all fairness. The Texas race is pretty good. Auto Club is great. And I really feel like Atlanta's going to be a banger because, I mean, the Super Speedway 1.5 mile configuration is insane. And we're going to run through the starting lineup real quick. On pole, Justin Levine took the points lead, now takes the pole for the Super Speedway race here today. Craig Yanzak joins him on the front row. Keegan Sabilo in P3. James Harris qualifies 4th. Brandon Ball in 5th. Jason Taylor in 6th. And Tyler Meeks in 7th. Brian?
Brad Thacker in 8th place. Nathan Meyer in 9th. John Lucido 10th. James South, last week's winner, starts 11th place. Michael Little in 12th. Robert Wynn 13th. And William Mann Jr. starts in 14th. That rounds out this 14-car field. Definitely excited for this one here in Champion Power Equipment action.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really fast race, right? It's only 80 laps. That's not a lot for a 1.5 miles, and that's not a lot for a 1.5 miles that's really a super speedway. They're going to be going full throttle all the way around this thing. Huge checkups, especially on the bottom lane going into the corners. Probably could see a couple accidents in that kind of area, but with only a 14 truck field here tonight, I think it's going to be continuously racy, and I think we're going to get some pretty clean racing as well. This is not a exceptionally difficult racetrack. I mean, you can run side by side very easily here. So I think we're going to get a good showing here tonight for the 80 laps, and it's going to be a dash. It's going to be a sprint to the finish.
No, it's going to be a good one. Of course, I asked James Harris what the fuel window was here tonight. He said about 52 laps. He didn't think it was going to be really necessary to have to worry about gas. Of course, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like you said, these guys are usually really clean. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Of course, we do have a comp yellow, I do believe, scheduled for lap 20 to 21. If we see a caution after that, or should I say after lap 15, that will lead to that being the actual comp yellow. So just keep in mind in that a lot of these guys are going to be racing to that yellow. So guys might take a little bit easier. One thing, though, that I know about this racetrack, even though it's a super speedway, you even mentioned it earlier, hybrid. This is like a hybrid track. Tire wear does matter here. A lot of people don't realize that, but it does.
Yeah, there's actually tire wear at this racetrack, and it actually makes it pretty fun, I gotta say. It's relatively fun to race on the surface whenever you get a good group in there. You actually have to hang on to the tires and not absolutely abuse them like you can full throttle around Daytona and Talladega. It makes it, honestly, a much more enjoyable experience behind the wheel because you feel like you have a little bit more of your fate is in your control. So I like watching these races at Atlanta because I just feel like they're a little bit, they're not pure, but they're a little bit more pure than like a Talladega or a Daytona. But we're coming to the green flag here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Justin Levine, Craig Yanzak on the front row, coming to the Geico restart zone. And the green flag is out, and Yanzak gets a really good jump on the outside on Levine, coming down the front straightaway. Just about clear of Levine before they even get to the first dog leg, but they get through that kink down into the corner. Levine still has his nose in there, able to be side by side through turn one.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Yanzak was able to get such a good run without getting any black flags, but I think I think that was a clean start. I think he's going to be okay. Of course, you see James Harris up there on the top side, going to get Yanzak back up to speed. Looked like he lost a little bit of speed in 1 and 2, as of course I do believe Levine right now leads into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Levine currently leading the pack, but they're lined up pretty tight on that outside line. Yanzak and Harris are bumper to bumper in 3rd and 4th on the outside line. That 3 truck is looking quick there with the 55 behind it. I mean, all tucked up on the rear end. Unfortunately, getting into the corner, Levine just able to hold that bottom lane, able to get the thing loaded up just a little bit, able to keep Sabilo, I believe that is behind him, on his back bumper, allowing himself to still get that push, because if he gets out a little bit too far ahead, it'll allow Yanzak to just kind of close that gap really quick with the good pushes he's getting from Harris. But right now, Levine doing a good job managing that gap.
I think what's really interesting, you talk about Keegan Sabilo. Well, you know, Sabilo needs to do better than Levine in this race. Of course, he is right behind the 33 right now, and so this is not a good position to be in. Of course, Sabilo probably just going to keep his head down, bide his time to make his move. Because one thing about this racetrack, it ain't going to be over until that last lap out of turn number 4 coming across the start-finish line. That's going to be when the points are going to be divvied out. So I think Keegan's trying to stay alive until then. Now, of course, we noticed Keegan is a short track expert. Oh, Craig Yanzak really loose with a back bump from James Harris on the front stretch. 3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide going into turn 1. Yanzak still trying to recover on the outside. That allows the 15 to get to his middle. They've got another truck going on the bottom. Yanzak still 3 coming off at turn 2, finally going back out to 2x2 with Yanzak still stuck on the outside. Looks like South was maybe thinking about making it 3 wide, decides to let the 3 truck in, but that was a hefty moment there from Craig Yanzak on the dog leg here on the front stretch.
Yeah, that could have easily turned into a bigger deal than it was. Of course, he got loose, but, you know, really great driver in Craig Yanzak. Always has been able to really save cars when other people haven't been able to. As we see, I do believe a little bit of some wiggling going on from William Mann Jr. as he tries to stay in front of Jason Taylor. Lots of moving around, and this is always usually a almost like an alarm bell or some with a siren going off in my head when I see stuff like this, that there might be a crash soon, considering just the vibe that's kind of emanating off these cars.
Yeah, typically whenever we saw him racing here in the early going, is we've got Sabilo looking to the outside of Levine, trying to switch around that point scenario. But you saw it kind of single filed out because of that issue in the front with Yanzak. They all got separated, and as soon as they all convened onto each other, one person made a move, and now all of a sudden we've got a hornet's nest from the lead on back all the way throughout the field, with Yanzak still trying to get past Mike Little there in the back, swerving back and forth across the racetrack, just kind of opened up this hornet's nest. Just seemed like the entire group, the entire pack just kind of convened onto each other. The guys in front just could not keep the pace. That draft was just too strong from behind, and everybody just kind of convened. And now Sabilo using that to the outside. He's got a huge push from ball here going around turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, I want to go back to Craig Anzac. You saw how costly that was. You know, a little bit of a wiggle like that sent him all the way back to the rear of the field. And, you know, a lot of drivers just made a note of that in their minds. They're like, hey, I got to make sure whoever's pushing me, that I can trust them, that they're going to be square on my back bumper when they do hit me. So that's one thing that a lot of these guys are going to be making sure they do. They got to have good dancing partners. As you see Yanzak thinking about going through the middle, is I think John Lucido getting incredibly close to Nathan Meyer there.
That's the thing about this racetrack too. Being a bad pusher is a bigger detriment to you at Atlanta because of how tight the corners are, because of how short the straightaways are. If you make bad contact and it's just kind of fall off somebody's back bumper, it takes you a lot longer to catch back up to it, and the consequences can be way worse because the corner speed. Well, you have to let off the throttle a little bit, so it's just a little bit worse on the truck. I sound like what's his name, Elmer Fudd. Either way, it's just a little bit more difficult here, and they make a little bit of bad contact. One guy goes around and it's completely screwed. I feel like you can get away with a lot more bumper contact at Daytona, Talladega. You can really lean on somebody. Here, going through the entrance of the corner, if you get to the back of somebody going into 3, I don't know, I think you're spinning them right around.
Well, look at this. I mean, look at the expert level performance we're seeing from Justin Levine. This guy is working the lanes. He's almost like he's a smooth politician at a banquet or something like that. He's just working the lanes out here, doing exactly what he needs to do to kind of stay up front. He's giving one lane some power, moves up to the other lane, and gives them some of that draft. And you can just tell he's done this before.
Yeah, typically the mindset is if you're up front, you're in the safest place possible. You're in the least likelihood percentile of getting wrecked. I don't know if it always works out that way, but I feel like that's the strategy that Justin's listening to, because it's very valuable to kind of sit at the back, save your tires, especially at Atlanta, save your fast repair, don't get too damaged or anything, and keep with the pack, and you can easily dodge the wreck. But also, if you're in front of the wreck, it doesn't matter. You don't have to slow down. Don't have to worry about getting any damage. And I just think that's kind of the strategy Justin's doing right now. I think he always goes to the super speedways looking to stay in the lead the entire time.
Taylor, sorry to interrupt you. Incredibly loose, keeps touching the apron right in front of, I do believe, Brian Thacker. That almost led to an incident there. You can tell Jason Taylor's starting to have some struggles. I don't know if this is based on tires or possibly the dirty air. Something is going on with the 15.
Because of those struggles, though, Sabilo was able to get a huge run with Harris on the outside of the racetrack. Harris was all over the back bumper of the 77, all the way down the front straightaway. Now he's hooked up again on the back stretch. The 55 is charging this 77 to the race lead right now. But Levine is able to get down to the bottom of the corner, dive it down, kind of take a little bit of that momentum back, but Sabilo still has that run coming off the corner.
Yeah, they're definitely getting some really good runs up there towards the top of the track, especially on the straightaways, even the front stretch. You're seeing these guys get huge runs. There goes Sabilo. He jumps down in front of Justin Levine. New leader, Keegan Sabilo, as well as Jason Taylor, who was struggling on the bottom, has decided to move up. He is now behind the 55. Craig Yanzak, we talked about him. I was getting ready to write him off. He was at the rear of the field. He's now up in 6th.
Oh, but Jason Taylor gets crazy loose coming through turn 3 and 4. And that allows Yanzak to get to the middle, allows James South to follow him through. And now the 15 is just dropping through the field. But Levine now ducks to the outside of the 77, going down into turn 1. He got the run down the front straightaway, and the 55 is all over the back bumper of Levine, trying to give him a push on the outside.
Yeah, and you can see Levine is definitely not giving that bottom a lot of room. He's kind of pinching those guys down, trying to side draft, I think. And I think it's a little early to be doing that, in my opinion. But I'll tell you what, he's linked up with the right guy. It seems like James Harris is the man to push you to the front. I mean, he's done it already, and I think he's going to do it again.
Yeah, he's been incredible on the outside line. He's pushed Sabilo to the lead, it seems like 2 or 3 times. And now he's done it again with Justin Levine to Keegan Sabilo on the outside line. That 55 just seems to be the best pusher in the field in the early going. But Yanzak splits him 3 in the middle. Not really much help yet, but Levine takes him in the middle. Sabilo to his inside through 3 and 4. The 55 just trying to find that hole back in front of James South. It looks like South's going to let him have it.
Wow. I bet Harris is probably none too pleased with the 55 or with the 3 right now. But look at the run that they're getting. Oh, Craig Yanzak tries to dive underneath Levine, and Levine is having none of it. Levine throws a mean block as we exit down into the backstretch. As look at that, Nathan Meyer, he's having none of this. He's like, I got to get out of here. This is too scary.
Yeah, Janzak and Levine were going at it, but there was a 3-wide battle going into turn 1 just behind. Mike Little and a couple other guys almost came together. I believe it was Meeks to his inside. I thought we were about to have a huge wreck through the middle of the pack, but Levine now leading the way, but Harris ducks it to the inside, kind of using the apron to get to the inside of the 33. And now Keegan Sabilo's following him through in turns 1 and 2. Janzak's going to try to give the 33 a push down the back straightaway, trying to get that outside line rolling once again.
Yeah, I mean, I think James Harris is like, I'm tired of pushing guys to the lead. I want to get up there in the lead. And he's been showing some marked speed. I mean, last time by, Harris was the fastest car on the racetrack, and we'll have to see if that continues to be the case. It looks like Levine's getting a huge run up on the top as we go 3 wide. We talked about James South. He's going to be a contender at this race if he stays alive, of course. And he just tried to take him 3 wide with Craig Janzak.
Yeah, and Sabilo had a huge moment through 3 and 4, almost cost himself the race in all seriousness. I mean, he was crazy twitchy coming off of turn 4, able to hold on to it, just lost a couple of rows worth of positions. Back to about P7, P8 now. He was running about 3rd. Oh, but right in front of him, sideways, hard into the wall. James South, Mike Little, the 15 goes around, the caution comes out. Wreck on the front straightaway, 4 drivers.
Oh my goodness. That was a big one right there. That was definitely one of the big ones here tonight. That is going to serve as our competition caution. We talked about if caution came out after lap 15, that would be the comp caution. Let's see exactly what happened here. You see William Mann Jr., I think, caught the apron possibly, and I think shot up the racetrack into, I think, South.
Yeah, that was
take another look at that, but I think it all seems like it all kind of went from the 29. It might have even been a bad bump from Sabilo. You can see right here. Yeah, wiggle. Yep, that's a wiggle from the 29. Went down the racetrack, caught the apron, and then went up in the South. I think Sabilo gets through this clean, but
yeah,
some other drivers did not.
He wiggled. He came up the racetrack, and at that point, the gap had already been filled just because Sabilo couldn't react to it in time. I mean, they're all just so tight in the middle of 3 and 4. Just unfortunate situation that sends him into the outside, into James South, puts him in the wall, and kind of causes this accident behind here, right as the competition caution was about to come out, too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But at least these guys have fast repairs. I don't think anybody, I think everybody's going to be able to make it to pit road. Of course, Justin Levine able to win the race off pit road. Craig Janzak gained some positions back. He's up to 2nd place. Harris sitting 3rd. Nathan Meyer 4th. And Tyler Meeks sits 5th as they come off pit road.
Yep, Levine keeping the race lead coming off pit road. We're going to take a moment to talk about one of our sponsors, Green Mountain Grill. We all love barbecue. Green Mountain pellet grills are the top of the line quality grills for all your grilling needs. GMG also offers the highest quality grills, dry rubs, sauces, and pellets, but not the highest in price. Customers enjoy the best possible grilling experience without breaking the bank. Visit either one of our thousands of locations across the United States or visit us at greenmountaingrills.com for online purchases, receipts, or recipes, and much more.
Looks like we got somebody going down pit road last second there. Nathan Meyer, I guess, maybe trying to make sure there's enough gas in the tank. Not really sure on that call, but maybe I think really if I'm in Nathan's shoes, I think if I was a mind reader, I should say, I'm thinking Nathan's like, I don't really want to be up here.
I'm just kind of thinking, you had said the information you got was 52 laps. I'm kind of questioning the validity. Maybe they could stretch it a little bit more. You can ride in this draft and save a lot of gas. So maybe you can save 5 laps of gas over 60 laps. I don't know. It could be possible here with these guys stopping off at the end.
That's a lot. I mean, that is a lot. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a factor anyway. I just think Nathan was trying to get out of the way. I don't think he wanted to be up in the battle for this lead right now, because I mean, we're only on lap 21 coming to 22. I mean, of course, I think we're not done with that yellow flag. Like that's don't go anywhere. The flag man does not need to walk away. He does not need to walk away.
Where's your faith? Where's your faith at, Brian?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just. Did you see the racing we just had? I mean,
We're running
it was
green. We're
crazy.
running green the entire way.
Okay, you say
Obviously,
so,
come on, man.
brother.
I have faith.
I have faith in a lot of things, but not that.
Well, Justin Levine on the front row, Craig Anzac in second. Feel like we say that a lot. Or the other way around. But coming off of turn 4, the pace car is off. Harris helping Levine. Meeks helping Yanzak. Coming back to the restart zone on Levine. Green flag is back out, and Levine jumps to a healthy lead before they get to turn 1.
Yeah, I feel like Levine learned a lesson from that first start. I mean, just considering Yanzak had really caught him off guard in a lot of ways. But look at the big run that James Harris is getting up to the back of the 33. Now, that's one of the bad things about getting that kind of a jump at a track like this. Everybody's going to be to draft up to you, as no one is helping Craig Yanzak right now.
Yeah, Meeks kind of made that easy on Levine. I didn't know. Oh, man, a little bit of contact for second place. But I didn't know which lane Levine even needed to block coming out of turn number 2. But then Meeks abandoned, being the helper of Yanzak on the outside line, just jumped down to the inside, and it became obvious from that point, kind of guaranteed that Levine was going to keep the lead here. But I don't think Harris is kind of content with running second. I mean, he has been heavy pushing to the front of this pack the entire race. I imagine he is not done sniffing the lead.
Oh, no, not at all. I don't think so. This 55 is just too fast. I mean, he seems like he's got some tricks up his sleeve. He knows exactly what he needs to do. And he has been the best pusher, I'd say, all race long. And eventually he's gonna get tired of pushing. He's gonna take this lead as he's all over the back end of the 33 right now. Of course, I gotta give big props to the 7 of Tyler Meeks. He's been running up in this top 5, I think, all race long. Also, William Mann Jr., even though he kind of did cause that last crash, he's still been running up in the top 5.
Yeah, able to kind of rebound from that, run up in the 4th place position after that restart. Good job from Mann Jr. Looked a little shady on that first caution, but everybody has a fast repair, so everybody's able to come down and get their stuff fixed. We still got Mike Little in the race. We still got James South in the race, so all these guys not really harmed. It just sucks using that fast repair so early in the event. But I got to note I've got to note something a little different. We're completely single file. We have not seen this through that entire first run. I got to be thinking some people might be saving gas.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at lap times right now. They are about 2/10 off of what they were hitting earlier in this race. So, I mean, maybe that very well could be, or maybe they just have all kind of elected to just kind of chill because they know that they have a long way to go. I mean, we still have 65 laps to go here in this race. So, well, maybe not. Tyler Meeks looking underneath. James Harris trying to possibly see if he can't get his way up into second place. Not quite able to get it. For some drivers, it looks like if a match is lit, a powder keg is going to go off. Because the one thing about a track like this, you're going to get runs, and sometimes it's too tempting to not take them, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that's what we're seeing from James South. He kind of went to the outside, being the only guy on the outside line, and now all of a sudden we see 3 other drivers up there on the outside line trying to make it work. We saw Yanzak duck out to the outside, and it looks like Meeks might want to join him up there. Might throw the block on the 3, decides better of it, tucks back into the inside line. Now South pushing Craig Yanzak into turn 3 on that outside line, trying to move that outside line along, trying to sniff the lead for the first time tonight. That's Yanzak, that's James South, that's Mike Little right behind him as Levine throws a huge block coming out of turn number 4. Contact between the front 3 on the outside line, and they're 3 wide for about 5th.
I got to give a lot of credit to James South right there. I think he showed a lot of wisdom right there because he saw, the kind of the wiggle that Craig Yanzak had, and he backed off and really thought that was very wise. He's been at this racetrack before. You can tell that he's like, hey, I don't have a fast pair. I got to be careful here. And Yanzak as well to keep that car going in the right direction because, I mean, the differences in momentum when you jump lines like that can be great.
Yeah, ultimately, James South, he can be aggressive, he can run hard, but ultimately he's got to keep in the back of his mind that he does not have that fast repair. All these other guys do. If they wreck, big whoop, take the fast repair, you're good, you can go back out there. If South wrecks, you're done, buddy. So he knows he's got to take it just a little bit easier. And that was a close one. If he has that fast repair, we might see a little bit different move there from James South a lap or 2 ago. But here he's being a little bit calmer, a little bit more collected, just trying to, work his way up the front without getting in an accident.
I'll tell you who's not being calm, Craig Yanzak. Yanzak is making some bold, risky maneuvers. And this is normal for the 3. I mean, he's always been just so aggressive. You talk to him, he'll even say it like, hey, I know I'm aggressive. People tell me all the time, and I agree with them. But that's just the way I race. This is how I've found success. And you know, this is why he is a previous season champion.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen aggression out of Janzak, but I know sometimes that word gets a negative connotation. But in all seriousness, you got to be aggressive inside one of these things. You've got to be aggressive to be fast here. And Janzak has not been, dirty aggressive. It's all been clean. I've not had one moment where I was like, wow, that was a dirty move from Janzak. Like, everything has been well within the rule book, but just aggressive, hard racing. And this is a racetrack that really lends to that skill set, being able to be aggressive and put that truck where it needs to go as fast as possible, to side draft other people and just kind of pull them back to you. So I just feel like this is a track that can kind of lend into that skill set.
No, I don't think it's necessarily a negative thing. Of course, he's found success with the aggressive nature. It's just his driving style. We see a little bit of an issue there. William Mann Jr. getting really, really loose. He, of course, is going to fall back a little bit here into the clutches of Nathan Meyer. I don't know if he touched the apron again or just got loose, but definitely William Mann Jr. not having the best handling truck right now. As we could even possibly see the pack separate. I don't know. I mean, this truck is pretty good at drafting back up, so we'll have to see if that's the case. But no, I think those guys are going to be just fine. But you could tell that some drivers are maybe not handling this racetrack as good as others.
Yeah, I think that line is single file enough and kind of close enough to pull everybody back into the main fight. I think they'll be okay, especially with the guys up front being too wide. As long as they don't get racing back there, it kind of looks like they're trying to be too wide in the back of the pack. They need to single file that out. But up front, 2x2 all the way from second place back to ninth place, just everybody cramped into a little position, and Levine just swapping lanes back and forth, outside to inside, in front of Harris, in front of Janzak, and back and forth, able to hold on to that race lead so far.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we heard Levine even talk about, hey, I want to lead every lap. I think it was last week he said, that's just kind of how I race. And I think him and Janzak both said that last week, if I'm not mistaken. They were both like, very clear that, hey, I want to lead every lap. I want to be, going in between each lanes, doing it like Dale Jr., you know what I mean? Pied Piper style. And you can tell that's exactly what they have in mind here tonight.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell who the hyper-competitive guys are whenever they start talking about that. I mean, everybody knows the only lap that matters is the last one, but, I mean, whenever you're a competitor, you just want to go out there and show you're the best. And Levine, and especially whenever you're in a league like this where you're running for points, it's a big helper to your season in total. I mean, if Levine or Sabilo gets taken out in a wreck and the other one wins the race or comes in second, huge points implications. So this is kind of the wild card, and it means a lot to be up front because, like we mentioned earlier, you got a less chance of wrecking if you're up in first place. So it's a big deal being towards the front of the pack, even through the middle portion.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big deal to be up front. Of course, you definitely want to be up front when it matters, though, like you were kind of alluding to. As it looks like Levine has jumped up to the top side, but I think someone has just filled the gap that he was sitting in. Here comes James Harris. He wants to have his moment in the sun as he's being pushed, of course, by Tyler Meeks, as well as we see Michael Little. He's been slowly but surely working his way forward in that 93 Blue Machine. Love to see that for sure. As we're now on lap 37, this thing is going by very, very quickly, closing in on the halfway point.
Yeah, we're closing in, getting close. Still only, 15 laps into the green flag tire cycle, right? Oh, man, contact. The 73 Lucido's going around in turn 4. Just a little bit of light contact through the exit of the corner on the left rear of Lucido. Just sends them right around. Oh, man, it looked like they're still about to make a little bit more contact.
I think they thought better about it, of course, that involving
once again.
Yeah, and I think he might have already used his faster here, but like you said, I don't think this is the worst contact here. I don't think this is going to end any days. Luckily, Lucido did not go face first into the wall, which could have happened.
Yeah, there's no heavy hits, so honestly, you could probably get by without using a fast repair, even if you didn't have one.
that was close. I mean, we saw that for the first time through William Mann Jr.'s eyes. But yeah, he almost tried to turn around and hit Lucido again, but luckily that did not happen.
We're going to go ahead and go off to our first commercial break. Stick around. We've got more action here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway here in the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. We've got a new leader, Robert Wynn in first place? I don't remember his first name, but Wynn, 16 car in first place, William Mann Jr. in second, Harris in third, and Justin Levine in fourth.
Man, C tier.
It was Robert.
Right
Yep,
there.
that was tough. I was right. I just questioned myself. C tier.
Yeah, you shouldn't, man. You shouldn't doubt yourself.
Very sad. Heartbreaking.
Robert Wynn, of course, in the Metallica machine. William Mann Jr., who was involved in that last crash, I do believe still out on the racetrack, 20 lap on his tires right now. This is very curious. I'm wondering, I mean,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Involved in that crash. This is crazy.
I'm guessing he's thinking with the caution, he can make it on gas. Maybe. But you're still on older tires, and it matters here, but the green flag's about to come out. Robert Wynn stomps on the loud pedal, gets to the gas first. Takes a pretty healthy lead here going down to turn one. Levine leaves that outside line high and dry. William Mann Jr. going to go to the back. Levine up to P3, and now Harris is looking at the outside of Wynn for the race lead.
Yeah, Harris, of course, has been really, really fast all race long, and we'll see. I think Wynn, you know, of course, he's on the older tires as well. Yeah, he's going to dip out. He's going to duck down below the apron. Can't really blame him. Just Levine takes the opportunity to jump side by side with the leader, James Harris, and now he takes the lead. Craig Ganzak, of course, goes right along with him, as well as James South. Oh, Ganzak goes down below the apron. Got a little bit loose there off of turn 4. He's going to take the lead.
Yeah, luckily for Levine, he's going to get picked up by the 55.
Oh,
no, the 55 goes around in 1 and 2 up into the wall. Oh, comes back down the racetrack, almost clips another driver in the right rear. Able to hold on to it, though, through 1 and 2. But that's one of the strongest trucks kind of taken out of contention here. If this thing runs green, he's got no shot, and he has been one of our fastest trucks all night.
Yeah, I was definitely very, very curious to see him with that sort of an issue. I don't know what happened. I think just a little bit of a tag from Tyler Meeks sent him around. Great save, though, for Harris. I mean, I'm surprised he was able to keep that truck going in the right direction. He did have some contact with the wall. Hopefully that truck's not too hurt, and hopefully gets back in this thing.
Yeah, Meeks just kind of followed him up the racetrack. Harris made a little mistake in the entry of the corner. He was a little bit too close to the driver in front of him and kind of had to get out of the gas a little bit. And I think it kind of spoofed him up the racetrack, and he moved up, and it just seemed like Meeks kind of followed his line up as he had started overtaking him on the inside and unfortunately caused that contact. But up front, Craig Ganzak, the beneficiary, leading the race. James South, he's already used his fast repair, but he's in P2. Oh, he looked to the outside of Ganzak, and Ganzak through a super late block, makes contact with the driver of the 21. South's not going to be too happy about that. We only got 37 laps to go.
Yeah, I think South's going to be looking for any opportunity to get by the 3. And it looks like Michael Little's like, you know what? You guys can play around. I'm going to go ahead and take, this is getting scary. I don't like the vibes here, Austin.
Mike Little forgot to turn into the corner going into turn 1 and just about wiped out his teammate on the outside of the racetrack. Luckily, everybody able to hang on to it. Mike Little now in P2. Looking at the outside. Does he pick up his teammates out there? Ganzak kind of fading to the outside, kind of blocking it. Looked like Mike might go to the inside, but he thought better of it. Just stays right behind the driver or the car number 3.
Oh, and Little tries to get underneath Yanzak, almost touches the rear end of the 3. And looks like Little has moved Yanzak off of the bottom of the racetrack now.
They are racing like it's the last lap. Mike Little, Craig Anzac side by side going down into turn 3. Meeks giving a huge push to Mike Little on the bottom of the racetrack. And James South, I don't know, does he think a little bit of teammate strategy here? Maybe he tries to put Yanzak 3 wide. Maybe, like, I feel like that's probably their best bet. Shuffle him out. They got the teammate on the inside. Does he just push Yanzak against his teammate, or does he try to shuffle him out of the line?
I don't know what he does here. I mean, but I'll tell you what, you were mentioning something about they're racing like it's their last lap. If they keep racing like this, it will be their last lap.
They got a faster pair. They'll be fine.
I don't know. I thought that was a good turn of phrase. You just had to.
Hey, it was, but I had to break it down.
Had to.
If this was an official race, it would have been great.
Taking care of business, and there goes Yanzak. Drops down behind Tyler Meeks, so that gives James South the lead to the top line. 2 Grid Vision trucks lined up. Does Michael Little jump up there and help him? I think that would be perfect to have those 3 Grid Vision trucks lined up.
I would almost rather lead both lines. I feel like that might be a little bit more beneficial because then you just can't get past. You don't have, I mean, you got to line up a lot of trucks, and there's just not enough trucks on the field to really make that third line work and have 3 equal trains. So I feel like maybe just holding on to both lines, protecting, might be the best strategy here.
It could very well be. I mean, you could very well be onto something. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case. As, of course, battling still on all over this racetrack as they are fighting neck and neck for the lead. James South, who has been on a roll here lately. We've all kind of said it. He won last week's race, I do believe, at Homestead. And, of course, the night before he won as well at this same very racetrack. So can he possibly do it again here tonight? I think it's very, very possible, and he is in position to possibly do it. Now, keep in mind, I do believe he is lacking a faster pair as he does get clear to the bottom. Does he jump down?
Yeah, he's looking dang good right now, and he's looking good because he's got his teammate just shoving ever-loving a hell out of him on the outside of 1 and 2. Just giving him a huge push through the corner. But then he kind of ducks to the outside. James South fading to the inside, picking up his other teammate, Mike Little, on the inside of the racetrack. Justin Levine holding that outside, though, through 3 and 4.
Yeah, definitely great job to James South to be able to take care of business here. And Michael Little probably going to be happy to push his teammate. I think Little, another one that was involved in the crash earlier, probably has already used his faster pair. So if we see another big one, this could wipe out several trucks from this race. But, of course, we'll have to see how this all plays out. Right now, I do believe top 7, or should I say top 8, right here, all right on top of each other. We are starting to see a little bit of a breakaway, I do believe. But Brand Thacker, I think, does have a sniff of the draft. He's going to be able to get back up to these guys. I like the calls here for Keegan Savita. I have been a big fan of this driver all season long. I think he's being real smart right now, real wise. He doesn't want to be in this because he knows what can go wrong.
Yeah, it's huge risk versus reward, right? I mean, if you stay up there, you could get wrecked out, or you could just, I mean, if the caution doesn't come out, then you got to have that track position, right?
Yeah.
So
no, you're right. It could go wrong for him. Easily, it could go wrong for him being back there. But I mean, he's also possibly saving tires, so I mean, maybe that'll help.
Oh, Mike Little comes down into Craig Anzac entering turn 1. A little bit of contact. Somehow everybody able to keep it straight for now, but Levine almost makes contact with Meeks. Meyer to his outside. They're 3 wide coming off at turn 2. How has everybody held on to that?
I have no idea. Meeks was up into the outside wall. Levine was able to stay off of him. I mean, this is very, very close to being an accident. I don't think this is over. Oh, Yanzak getting loose off the corner. He goes all the way down on the front stretch. Oh, they are still 3 wide. This is looking crazy. Contact.
Oh, South has just turned down on Craig Yanzak in the middle of 1 and 2, completely taking him out of contention. I mean, Yanzak sliding sideways. He was just South's inside, and South just kind of kept turning down the racetrack and didn't stop until he got down to the red line. So that was a little naughty from the driver of the 21.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it is a lot of people don't realize about this racetrack. You know, if you go all the way down there on that apron on the front stretch, nobody has to let you back up. That's the thing about it. Like, I mean, yes, it causes issues when you don't, lets someone back up. But then again, I mean, you kind of you go down there at your own peril, right?
Well, I feel like Yanzak had gotten back on the racetrack and had established himself, and then South turned down.
Oh, William Mann Jr. sideways as he gets into the outside wall. And my word, this has just gone from crazy to chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough time to just stop and talk. I mean, they're racing hard everywhere. Everybody making mistakes. But James South up to the race lead. I kind of put a little bit of that accident more on South, right? But, I mean, hey, he's to the race lead. That's all that matters at the end of the day. That's the place that pays. He can kind of find his way back into the championship battle with this, too. Levine is kind of falling off of the front end of this pack. He can pick up some valuable points here tonight. But we're going to go ahead and pay a little bit more attention to our sponsors. Well, actually, we're going to do it in the middle of the caution break because we got a driver going around the 56 coming off of turn number 4, loops it through the infield grass. That's going to give me a chance right now. What a way to introduce Champion Power Equipment. Looking for reliable and high-performance power equipment to help you tackle any job? Look no further than Champion Power Equipment. Whether you need a portable generator, pressure washer, or any other power tool, Champion has you covered with top-of-the-line products at affordable prices. And as the proud sponsor of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, we're excited to bring you even more power and performance on and off the track. Visit championpowerequipment.com today to learn more.
Looks like I think we have on our screens here, we're going to be taking a look at the pass that Craig Yanzak pulled on South. And we'll see if he had established himself like you said. And I think he had. I think
he's
you're
on the
right.
racetrack. He's on the racetrack.
So, yeah, I think South right here pinches him into turn 1. Just does not give him enough room. So, yeah, no, I agree totally. Looking back at that, I'm willing to change my position on that, Austin.
I respect that so much, Brian. You know, you just went from like a C+ to a B- to me.
Now let's look at the real can of worms right here. Of course, this being the accident involving Brad Thacker. You can see right there, I think just got pushed up off the bottom, I think. I have to take another look at that.
Well, when we were talking about Sabilo hanging back to make sure he doesn't get involved in an accident, well, that one happened right in his lap. He got lucky. He didn't hit anything, but that's the kind of danger of running back there. Yeah, you can slow down to miss a wreck, but if it happens right in front of you, you can't do anything about it. He got very lucky. They spun right out of the groove as he was coming through.
Yeah. Really interesting to see that because you see following right behind in Brad Thacker's tire tracks, I do believe was John Lucido. And I think Lucido had just pushed Brad out of the groove and kind of just got him up the track a little bit. And then Brad tried to come back down and just got turned right across into the grass. Luckily, he didn't hit anything. Shouldn't be too. It should be okay for the 56. Been having a good night so far.
All right, so we got 22 laps to go on the restart. We're probably going to have anywhere from about 19 to 20. Brian, who do you have winning this race? We're 3/4 of the way through. Who's your favorite?
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like smart money's on James South, even though he doesn't have a fast pair left. I mean, I just feel like he's on a roll. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's it. I mean, I feel like South has got it.
I like that pick. Very sentimental favorite. I like it. But I'm going to go with the 55 of Harris. I think he has been incredibly quick today, probably been the best pusher in the field. And I think at some point that pushing can turn into passing. And I think the 55's got the possibility to do that here at the end.
Oh, I like it.
And our producer took Craig Yanzak. And our producer has been right more than any of us. Actually, I don't think we have ever been right, and he has been right twice. So
I don't know. I've been right. Now I've been right before, but no, you are half correct. He has been right more than anybody. You are right about that.
It started with the Swifty mobile. He just created a curse right then and there to where no matter what, he's going to pick the dumbest paint scheme and they're going to win the race. And it happens. It happens every time.
Yeah, our producer has a keen eye. So, yeah, no, I think we all picked very well. I think, I love James Harris as a call. I really do as well.
We're going to go ahead and pay some attention to our last sponsor here, Blackstone Management Partners. Blackstone Management Partners guarantees an unrivaled one-on-one approach to every client. providing them with the solutions and services required to keep their dynamic brands thriving and one step ahead of the ever-changing consumer marketplace. Blackstone comprises expertise in marketing, communications, talent management, and event management. Working with their clients, they not only use traditional but state-of-the-art platforms, including mobile marketing, investigative marketing, cause-driven marketing, and cause-driven marketing. I can't talk tonight. Somebody help me, Brian.
It's not as easy as you thought, is it?
The ad reads, man. I do this in real life, and I can't do it over the internet. This is a joke. Somebody come get her. James South is leading the way. Either way, 21 laps to go, coming to 20. James South leading the way. Mike Little on the outside. Who would have thought that coming into this event? Crazy shuffling throughout the back. Nathan Meyer trying to get something going around the outside of Harris. Harris not letting him do it. Now Ball has to drop to the inside, as does Mike Little.
But James South out front right now. I don't know if I want to be out front right now. Of course, Justin Levine. The man we know, none of us picked him. I'm surprised nobody picked Justin Levine. He's been hot here lately. But here comes Brandon Ball. He's been actually having a very good performance, very solid performance here tonight. He's got that top line rolling with the aid, I do believe, of Jason Taylor.
Yeah, I just don't like it whenever the same guy kind of like that finishes top 5 every week wins the super speedway, because it's like, oh, dude, come on. This is the chance, and you ruined it. So I don't want Levine to win. I'm anti-Levine tonight.
Well, sure he'll love to hear that. Man, I think y'all are like really, really good friends, so I don't know how he's going to take that.
Hey, he can understand circumstance, man. Circumstance changes things.
But here we go, coming out of turn number 4. Of course, Sal's going to lead this lap. And I think Levine is probably of the mind to just help Sal get where he needs to go. But I don't think Tyler Meeks is thinking that. He's definitely looking to possibly move somewhere else, but no one's up there really to help him. As Keegan Sabilo has entered the fight again. He's back up in the top 5.
Yeah, those grid vision trucks are just kind of lined up 1 through 3. Somebody's going to have to go in there and break these guys up, or else nobody else is going to have a shot at this thing coming to the end, as we got 17 laps to go this time around as we come out of turn number 4, taking the double dog leg of a front straightaway. James South still leading the way with Levine right behind him. Mike Little right there on the bumper of the 33. But Keegan Sabilo is right behind Mike Little. He's kind of charged his way back up to the P4 position. Still looking to challenge Levine for that championship point lead.
Yeah, for sure. I think both Levine and Sabilo, all they really want is to have a solid night, a solid points night here. Because if you can get out of a track like this and have solid points, I'd say that's a win in my book. I mean, considering you could have the worst night of your life at a track like this.
Oh, speaking of the worst night, the 15 hard into the outside wall. Head on into the outside wall goes the 15.
My goodness. Brad Thacker, of course, has some major damage as well.
Taylor just went hard. I mean, I don't even know what happened in the middle of the trial, but it looked like he just got loose. Probably off of the nose of Thacker here. Yeah, actually just overdrives it through the first dog leg. Overcorrects it back into the 56.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's like,
contact.
Look like a break dance there for the 56.
Sheesh.
That's unfortunate. You know, this happens a lot through this area of the racetrack. Considering, even though this is a super speedway style racetrack, it's so easy to hit that wall, considering this is a quad oval and not, you know, it's not as rounded through the front stretch. So when you're on that high line, it's very easy to get into that wall. The wall comes up abruptly, right?
I have to agree with everything you just said, to be honest with you. But we're going to head to our final commercial break here before the end of the race. We're green flag to the finish after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back for the finish of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. I'm Austin Edstrom standing alongside Brian Britt with Austin Derbyshire behind the production cameras. We're coming to you for the last 12 laps here. We're about to take the green flag. James South leads his teammates, Justin Levine, Mike Little. They're running second and third. Keegan Sabilo, Justin Levine's biggest championship threat, currently running right on the bumper of the 33 right in front of him there in P2. Big championship implications in the front of the field. Big storylines, potentially. James South winning potentially back-to-back races would be massive for the driver of the 21. Big confidence boost. Keegan Sabilo trying to take that points lead back. Lost it last week. Has only been without it for this week. Can he retake it the next go-around at Atlanta? Right behind Justin Levine. He's got 12 laps to make a difference.
We're definitely getting ready to find out.
But the pace car is off, coming on to turn number 4. James South leads his teammate, Justin Levine, into the restart zone. The green flag is out, and James South is to the gas. Levine got a pretty good jump, though, on the outside, just about able to hang with him. They're side by side for second in the mirror of the 21. Levine able to take that spot.
Now, one thing I do want to draw attention to here is the top 3 are on 30-lap old tires right now, 30 plus lap old tires. Keegan Sabilo is on some of the newest tires in the field, up in 4th. I'm wondering, is that going to matter as we close in on 10 to go?
The positive for him, being that much better on tires, is never a negative. The negative for him, he's got 3 teammates lined up just in a line. I mean, there's nothing he can do. That's 3 guys he's got to get past in one go. He's got to have massive commitment with everybody behind him. He's got to get a train for him to that outside line to be able to do anything. It's going to be tough to do that. And even whenever you do that, who knows? Mike Little might jump to your nose and take your position away from you back, or right back. Yeah. And then Levine could jump in front of you. So just a lot could go wrong here. But Harris, he's the one trying to make it happen on the outside.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, I was just getting ready to, you just stole the words right out of my mouth. I mean, James Harris has been rolling up on that top side. I think on that restart, he started back outside of the top 10, drove his way all the way up to 6th right now, and is continuing to march his way forward. And I think Sabilo saw the signs. He says, I'm going to jump up there too. And there goes Levine. He jumps up to the top. He said, I can't let you guys steal this from me.
Oh, and that outside line is flying. Levine, that bump that they got in the middle of the back straightaway just shot Levine out of a cannon. Able to take the lead. Now coming off of 4, has the run, able to clear James South. But we saw that outside line. It formed pretty quickly there from about the 5th or 6th row. Oh, man. Tight racing between the top 2. James South getting pinched down to the bottom of the racetrack by the driver of the 77. Keegan Sabilo trying to do everything he can to get this race lead, the championship lead. But now Harris on the outside of the racetrack takes him 3 wide going down into 3.
I don't know. I think Harris has got like 10 more horsepower than everybody else. I think he set up the session. He was like, I'm going to give myself more speed than everybody else. I'm just playing, of course. This has definitely gotten crazy. As, of course, Keegan Sabilo is still trying to work that middle to top groove. Bottom line right now does have the strength as we come to, I do believe, 7 laps to go. Justin Levine right now in control. Is this the time to be in the lead? I don't know. I think I'd want to be in possibly in the league coming across the start finish line. That's for sure. But maybe not until we get to that last lap.
I think I'd rather be the leader on the outside line, and right now that's Keegan Sabilo. He's looking really good out there. That bottom line just breaks up down the front straightaway every single time as people cut the dog leg. Kind of shuffles it out, kind of shuffles people to the top side of the racetrack. And I think that's keeping that outside with a lot of momentum through 1 and 2. Allows the 77. I mean, he's even with Levine coming off the corner. Now is going to have the run. Oh, he had the run, but he ships Lucido down to the inside of Levine.
Oh, and everybody
77
wrecks.
goes spinning. Multiple drivers involved up at the front of the field. James South is through. Harris is through. Myers fine. But multiple drivers caught up at the front of the pack.
Wow, and look at that blown motor, I do believe. That is Justin Levine. There's going to be some huge championship implications here. What is he doing? I'm surprised that truck still is even moving. He was rolling backwards for quite a bit of time, but I think his engine might have expired. We're going to take a look back at this incident. It just broke off all of a sudden.
Yes,
I think it started on the bottom.
In the middle.
Yep. Looks like Lucido decided to try to take that gap.
I think Lucido had every right to take that gap. I mean, it was there. He had it. But the 77 gave it to him and then just came down the racetrack once they were 3 wide. Just kind of an unfortunate issue on the back straightaway. He's trying to cover off that middle groove, but I mean, Lucido's down there, and it just kind of had a little bit of a ping pong effect whenever they made contact. Just kind of screwed up the entire situation for them all.
Yeah, I think Sabilo saw what Lucido was doing and thought, as I can do a quick knee-jerk reaction to possibly stop that run from him taking that move, but it was just so quick that was never going to work.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything wrong with Lucido's move. I think that he did everything
I
right.
don't think so either. No, I'm saying that Sabilo made a last second, like a split-second decision to try to block off that move, and I just think it was not the move to do. You can't block a move like that whenever it's already in the process of happening.
It's just kind of, he was a little lazy coming up the racetrack, right? I mean, he kind of left the room, didn't side draft anybody, just left a lot of racetrack in the middle for Lucido to take, and he did. I mean, we're coming to what? It was 8 to go. Who's not going to take that big of a run down the back straightaway to lead the outside line? I mean,
guys want to win a race. I mean, these guys want these races are hard to win, Austin. I mean, so Lucido saw his moment, like, hey, I can push, get in between Sabilo and the guy on the bottom line and possibly win this race. I mean, and I don't blame him at all. I mean, there was real estate there. I mean, he's a racer. He's a racer. When you're a racer and you see a door open, you're going through it.
It's crazy. Sabilo was involved in that wreck. He got turned sideways, slid through the corner, and he's able to keep his position. He got all the way back up to P2. So we're going to have James South starting on the front row in P1, taking the green flag. Sabilo in second. James Harris is going to be third. Nathan Meyer in fourth, as we're going to have a 3-lap dash to the finish.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Of course, South is on some of the oldest tires in the field. Of course, South is my pick. Harris is, I do believe, your pick.
Yep.
Craig Anzac, producer's pick. He's back in 7. Let's see what he can do.
If he does it, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
No offense to Anzac, but big offense to my producer.
I'm definitely curious to see if the 3 can drive his way up here. I mean, I really don't doubt it. I mean, Anzac does some crazy, wild stuff.
I mean, hey, anything can happen, man. It's Atlanta with 3 laps to go. I wouldn't be surprised if South went into turn number 1 and just forgot to turn the wheel and completely cleared out the 77 and 24. I mean, who knows? Anything can happen.
That's what you want, because that way Harris can win? That's what
I mean, that would work out for me for sure. Would make
what a race.
Like
of course, only one driver out of it, Jason Taylor, but everybody else is still out here. Luckily, I do believe Levine was able to remain on the league lap, which is quite a surprise. I thought he was going to be done.
Yeah, he was able to get that fast repair, I think, the first time he came around, or whenever he came down on the wreck. Got the fast repair and then took tires the second time, but hopefully the pace car's out for the last time, as James South leads him down to the green flag. 3 laps to go. The green flag is out. James South on the gas, takes the lead away from the 77, and Harris is following him through. They're side by side. They're even for second place going down into turn 1 as Nathan Meyer ditches the 77 and goes down to the inside.
Yeah, this could be a huge thing here. Meyer leaving Sabilo. It looks like Meyer just like, hey, man, it's every man for himself. But there goes Harris. He jumps to the top. This might help out Sabilo or could hurt him. We'll have to wait and see. It's definitely going to hurt James South. As here comes Craig Yanzak through the middle. He's going to make it. He's going to try to make room.
That's going to be a tough ask there for everybody. Crazy move there from Yanzak, but the big loser out of that, James South, shuffled down to the inside line, but he still kind of got the lane. He could maybe make a move on Harris, but Harris comes down, blocks the run. But man, they are racing tight, 3 wide through turns 1 and 2 all the way around. Only 1.5 laps remain as Harris leads them down the back.
James Harris right now in business. Can they make it to the white flag? I think is the main question. These guys are packed in here like sardines. I'm surprised any of them can breathe with how close these drivers are to one another, but it looks like we are going to get the white flag as we go almost 4 wide.
I think they were for a split second. James South and Lucido make contact. That's going to screw that inside line. That's going to hurt them. But it looks like the 55 of Harris might be dragging the brake just a little bit, trying to keep South on him. But Yanzak is pushing Nathan Meyer on the outside line of 3 and 4, trying to make that middle groove work. Nathan Meyer on the outside. James Harris on the inside, the driver of the 55, with James South on the inside of the racetrack, trying to make it work. South splits to the inside. Meyer races to the checkered flag. I think it's Meyer at the line.
Nathan Meyer wins this race, and they destroy every truck. As right after the start-finish line, they just destroyed every single truck.
I don't know. I've never seen a more devastating wreck in my life.
Wow. We got to check. The winner might be dead.
I think the leader might be the only one that got through.
Look at this. What a finish. My goodness. That was crazy. That had to be 5 wide. Had to be.
Oh, man.
And
Poor Harris got screwed out of that one. He had South behind him, but South dipped to the inside. Kind of made a little bit of contact, and Harris only loses by 0.03 of a second to Nathan Meyer. Tough break from James Harris. Congratulations to the 24 of Nathan Meyer. We're going to head to our final commercial break. On the other side of commercial, we've got interviews for the top 3 podium finishers. Just kidding. We're going to look at our results real quick because that's the order that we do things in. So we're going to check out our results here. As they've taken the checkered flag, Nathan Meyer brings home the W. James Harris just barely misses out. P2 finish. P3, Craig Yanzak, good finish. James South, 4th. Justin Levine, 5th. John Lucido, 6th. Brandon Ball, 7th. Tyler Meeks, 8th. Michael Little, 9th. Brad Thacker rounds out our top 10 as Keegan Sabilo finishes 11th. William Mann Jr. in 12th. 13th, Robert Wynn. And 14th, Jason Taylor. Welcome back to the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series here on iRacing. We've just finished up tonight with Nathan Meyer picking up the W. We're going to head to interviews real quick, though. We're going to grab our P3 finisher of Craig Yanzak. Craig, we got you up in the booth. Good P3 finish. Nice night for the points, finishing ahead of Levine and I believe our P2 in the points was Sabilo. So finishing ahead of both of those guys, being able to maybe claw back some points. What more did you need to kind of be able to challenge Nathan Meyer and James Harris there on the last lap?
Oh, man, I didn't. This is a terrible racing attitude, but I didn't really care. I saw Nathan jump up in front of me, the way that the cards were laid out there. And I wanted to make sure that a truck that never afflicts me any adversity on the track, and one of my best friends could pull off the win here tonight. And that's exactly what we were able to do. Yeah, I've plotted to push Nathan to a win for really, really long on this simulator. He and I have raced together for, it's got to be 2 years now, and I've always wanted to do what I just did. And nothing makes me really feel quite as happy as being able to do that for somebody that shows the respect that you feel you're deserved, and that's a really damn good feeling, Austin.
Well, congratulations to both of y'all on the race win then, since it sounds like that's the way it was. We definitely did not pick up on that whenever the race was going on there towards the end of the race. You know, it just seemed like business as usual, because you know you're just pushing the guy in front of you. But
yeah,
well, congratulations. That's a big W for both of you guys working together here at Atlanta.
We really wanted to work on that for a long time, and we never really got together here tonight. Honestly, I don't think that I saw the front of his truck attached to my tailgate, and I don't think that we had the opportunity to do what we did there for the last lap and 3/4 at all tonight. And we have this implicit understanding that we know what the other is going to be able to do in a lot of these situations, and not a lot of other people do. And that's why I kind of bullied Meeks a little bit when I saw an opportunity to get to that San Diego City Connect style truck that I was able to paint for Nate. And you know, I knew that it provided him the best opportunity to win, and it provided the best opportunity to take away that win from a lot of people that did not race very cordially here tonight. And that's as much of a W as you can get for someone else.
It's maybe the most respectful way I've ever heard somebody or a group of people get called out. I've got to hand it to you.
Yeah. There's no point in really dragging names through the mud, man. That's not what we're here to do. This is a simulator. This is a passion. This is a hobby. But you know, there are good ways to let people know that they've pissed you off, and I think that saying that is a good way.
Hey, respect for that. Any shout outs that we can give at the end of the interview here?
Yeah, massive shout out to Champion Power Equipment for their support of our league. You know, thanks to Nathan for presenting his rear to me. Don't read into that too far. Thank you to all the sponsors and supporters of this league: BSM, Green Mountain Grills. You guys in the Grid Vision broadcast booth are as good as it gets. And I thank you for all the effort that you put in, and all the viewers out there. It's a great thing to be a part of when you have something like this going on. So cheers to all you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your night tonight.
Well, we appreciate it, Craig, and congrats again on your P3 finish, and pushing your buddy to the win. That's pretty cool tonight. So
yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, you got it. Take care.
All right, that was our P3 finisher, Craig Anzac. Next up, Brian Britt, gonna interview the guy that just missed out on the victory, the 55 at James Harris.
That's right, James. What a race you put on here today. I mean, you were, I'd say, the best pusher out there. I mean, you would get a car in front of you on that top line, and you would push them right to the lead. It happened multiple times. And then, I mean, you even had your day in the sun a couple times as well. What did you need to be able to get that dub, man? It seemed like it was just elusive and out of your grasp right now.
Story of my life, brother. Story of my life. I thought I had it coming out of 4 on that last lap, but I think South. Hold on a second. Good night, son. Love you. South went below me out of 4 to try to make his move, and I think that cost me just enough momentum to where Nathan was able to get around me. But man, that's got to be one of the most fun races I've had in a long time in this league.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like a lot of fun. I mean, what was different about the way you were tackling it versus other drivers? It seemed like you had 10 more horsepower up on that top side.
Well, the first 20 laps, it may have seemed like that because I didn't lift, and I wore the hell out of that right rear. And I don't know if you could tell in the broadcast, but after about 15 laps, we got really, really loose on entry. So after that, I started saving my tires more, and that allowed me to push further into the run and actually go more throttle time on entry than a lot of those guys. And I think these trucks are just better here in the middle and high side than on the bottom.
It definitely seemed like you figured that out. You had found that groove, and it worked out for you. Of course, very good point stage for you. Iowa's coming up next week. Much different racetrack than this one. How do you feel about that one?
Iowa, I used to hate it, but the last last 4 or 5 times I've been there, I've actually gotten better, and I'm enjoying that track now. I've discovered a few different lines and ways to approach the corners. That's actually helped me on the long run, saving tires. So I'm hoping for long runs next week, but being a short track, who knows? But I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun race.
We're definitely looking forward to it as well. I mean, that's my favorite track. I've said it so many times in Grid Vision history, but can't wait to see what you could do next week, James. Congratulations on the second place. Wish it was one position better, but unfortunately that's not the case. Who can we shout out?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to say, yeah, this season's been kind of mediocre for us. But we have been. I did say I wanted to be more aggressive, and I think I've been doing that. And hopefully the win's going to come. But first of all, I want to thank Champion Power Equipment for being on my truck and sponsoring our league for over 3 years now. It's been a fantastic relationship. Kevin Kirscher with Blackstone Management, all the guys in the league for showing up every week. I appreciate their participation, and it's a good group of guys. And you guys put on a fantastic broadcast for us every week, and we really appreciate it. I know Champion does too.
All righty. Thanks, James, and you have yourself a great night, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, that was James Harris, driver of the 55 machine. Next up, of course, Austin Etcher is going to be standing by with our winner.
Nathan, the race winner. Where did you come from? How did you get to the front? What was going through your head when you crossed the start-finish line and you realized you had won the thing?
Yeah, man, it was awesome. My strategy on all these contracts is stay in the back. They're gonna wreck, and then kind of just try losing my way up there, and it worked out. I dodged most of the cautions there, and then I knew James had the fresher tires, so I went with them, and then I figured James was gonna, or South was gonna dip under James there at the end, and I would have Craig behind me, so it worked out.
Well, first off, I gotta say congratulations. We did not pick you in the booth. We had a couple picks. You kind of hurt me a little bit because I had picked Harris and you barely beat him by a bumper, so I'm a little hurt.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It'll take some time to get over. But congrats on winning the race. What was your mindset through the race though? Like, were you kind of playing it a little bit safe? Were you really kind of pushing? At some points, I remember seeing you drop back to the back of the pack. Were you really just trying to play it safe until the end of this thing and save that fast repair?
Yep, I was always just going to play it safe to the end, save the fast part. I even had an extra set of tires there that I didn't use because I didn't pit on that first one. And to be honest, I've never driven this track before on this configuration, so I didn't really know what you could all do until pretty much the end.
Well, it seems like you figured it out pretty quick. I mean, it was only an 80-lap race. It wasn't even that long. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, it feels good. I'm usually at the end, in the front at the end of these things and always get wrecked, so it feels good to finish one off.
It's the one out of the next 15 that'll happen like that, so cherish this.
Yeah, for sure. That's why the burnout was so long.
But that's relatable. But congrats, Nathan. Are there any shout-outs you can give here at the end?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for putting this on. Green Mountain Grills, Champion Power Equipment. It's all fun stuff. And thanks to my boy Craig for not ditching me there at the end. It's cool to see.
Congrats to y'all for the good finishes, and looking forward to talking to you again later this year.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. Talk to you later.
We'll see you, Nathan. Congrats. That's Nathan Meyer, our race winner here at Atlanta. Unfortunately, it's done so soon. Only an 80-lap race. Honestly, felt like it went by really, really quick. But Nathan Meyer, able to get the W tonight. Really impressive run. Brian, what did you think of our racing tonight?
Well, I'm glad it was a short race because that means a little, I didn't have to spend as much time with you. So that's good. No, I'm just playing. I loved it all. So that was a lot of fun hanging out with you, man, calling this race and,
Dang, man.
Just hanging out with the best league commentator ever. I mean, that's what it's been so awesome. But I mean, no, every single time we come to this racetrack, this Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Super Speedway, I should say, I've actually grown more and more fond of it. I mean, I like the legacy version. Of course, that's always got a special place in my heart. But I gotta say, this version is starting to grow on me.
Yeah, it's a good track. I actually really like what they've done with it. It's been fun to watch in real life the last couple times. It's been fun to watch in iRacing. It's been fun to race in iRacing. I'm going to tell you, it's an awesome kind of twist to Super Speedway, and I really enjoy doing it. I mean, we got a really good race here tonight. Only 14 trucks in the field, and it was that good of a race. Hard battles all throughout the field. Just kind of goes to show how good that track is on the iRacing service. Whenever you have a bunch of guys that can keep it clean, that's the kind of problem with officials. But either way, that's going to do it for us here at Grid Vision. We'd like to thank everybody for tagging along, watching us here tonight at Atlanta. Thank you to all of y'all from Champion Power Equipment and the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series. I've been here with my co-commentator Brian Britt and Austin Darbyshire behind the booth, and I was Austin Edstrom. Thank you all for being here tonight. We'll see you next week.